Okay, this is day 3 with
Day
Dr.
three.
Michael Klaper. Número
Okay.
3. Sí,
Número tres, sí.
sí. And
Sí.
I am full of energy. I feel great, but I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, Dr. Clapper.
You sure did.
I
And
had
my
energy.
surprise, not
Yeah.
one bit.
Are you not? Oh, and then I have to share with you the ladies that I'm doing this with. They had violent dreams. They had vivid dreams, and it was really tough on them. And after our morning fastcation support group call, they decided to commit to day 3. So it's so
Wow.
important to do this with people. Doing this by myself, and Dr. Clapper, I couldn't do this without you. And so I'm very
Oh,
grateful for your time, because, I don't think I could do this without you, and I don't think I could have done it without them. But I feel really, really good. As a matter of fact, I was going to go take a nap before the call, but then I got someone who called because they wanted to become a sponsor. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll take a nap after I speak with you.
fair enough.
Yes.
Before we breeze past this one, Lillian, you are so great on so many levels, and you're just touching all the bases of fasting knowledge, fasting craft that your viewers really should know about. And one of them that I always tell my patients who are coming into True North to do a fast is that, listen, in our everyday, we're pretty much always eating, or we at least, go for 2 or 3 substantial meals a day. And our digestive system is constantly putting energy into digesting our food. The physiologists tell us that 60–70% of all the energy burned during the day has to do with digesting your food on some level. There's, when you think about starting at the top, the saliva that's got to be manufactured, but all the muscular activities of your intestines, your stomach, your esophagus, and all the chemical activities, all the stomach acid has to be created, the digestive enzymes, the bile, the liver functions, all of this requires a tremendous amount of energy.
Mm-hmm.
And your body is able to step up and do it. And we can talk about the physiology of eating at another time. But when you're fasting, when the only thing coming in is water, after a day or two, the body is, wait, what's happening here? And it's shifting all sorts of metabolic gears. And, it's hard to quantitate the energy level of the body as easy as you can say blood pressure or pulse, that you can count. But the energy level is diffuse, and I'm sure we could check the amount of ATP in the cells and brain waves and all that stuff. But in a general sense, the energy level goes up because all that energy that we normally put into digesting our food on a fast is freed up, and
Mm-hmm.
people feel it, and that rattles around their body. They would stop me in the courtyard at True North. Doc, I haven't felt this good in years. I can't believe the energy I have. I haven't eaten in 3 weeks, but I feel wonderful. It's really counterintuitive. And it's just all this digestive food energy rattling around. And so people feel energetic, as you do, yay. But also what this does to your sleep. You don't need as much sleep, and surely your nervous system is charged with glucose and ATP and all sorts of things.
Wow.
That's the rule. The sleep goes out the window on a fast.
Wow.
And I tell folks, one, expect it, and don't be stressed over it. That's what happens.
Uh-huh. It's
It's kind of probably a throwback to those ancient times a million years ago. If you haven't eaten for a couple of days, you're looking for any opportunity for food, and sleep is a low priority.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people, don't fight it. Don't get distressed over it, but don't lay in bed at 3 in the morning with your eyes open saying, when am I going to get to sleep? If you're clearly not sleepy, do what you did. Get up and use that energy. Go answer your email, balance your checkbook, go talk to
Meditate.
do something with your energy. So your eyelids get heavy and the voice comes in, you need to lay down and get some sleep.
Yeah.
And then lay down and get some sleep and just listen to your body. But that sleep disturbance is absolutely par for the course. You shouldn't stress over it, nor should any of your viewers.
Yes. What about their dreams? Both of them were.
Yeah, same thing. Absolutely. It would be fascinating. You could do a PhD thesis on on the brainwave changes during fasting alone, I'm sure. If you really put electrodes on people's heads every night during a fast, you'd see a whole progression of changes.
Yeah.
And surely lucid dreaming would, the dreams would get very vivid during that time, I'm sure. And the neurophysiologist could explain exactly why. But, I'm not surprised that she had those kind of dreams.
Yeah.
And again, similar with the other changes we talked about yesterday, just observe, I had vivid dreams. I didn't have vivid dreams. It's all okay. It's just your body balancing accounts and rejuggling energy and trying to deal with this slightly abnormal but remarkable state of alertness, actually. It shows up in the neural circuitry as well.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And, what I told, because, this support group that we're doing, is to help each other through this, because they both woke up like, I don't think I can continue. But by the end of our time together, they were like all in. They realized, because they both had the vivid dreams, and when I told them I was up at 2:00 in the morning and I got so much done, I felt like Kramer on Seinfeld, when he was sleeping every 15 minutes, like for 5 minutes every hour or something like that. And,
right.
but what I told them was that now that their body is not going through the catabolic or digestion or whatever we call it, but in reality it's detoxification and intruder alert type of thing, that perhaps now that our body is not doing all of that, that perhaps maybe things that from our past are coming up that we didn't want to listen to. This is as a life coach, this is my take over it and my intuition. I didn't know if it was real or not, but I just know enough about the body and doing this show for 8 years that I thought, well, that makes sense to me. And I just wanted to talk to you about it because, I mean, do you get people saying, I was crying about my mother's death, or a divorce, a loss of a relationship, or, and so for me, I've been, I know that this is more than a physiological fast, or, a physical where my body is changing. For me, this is also an emotional, spiritual fast.
Absolutely is.
Do you get that a lot?
Absolutely. And we often joked at True North when people do these long fasts, by day 15, 21, you can feel it in the room. You make rounds in the morning, and as soon as you open the door, someone's on a long fast. There's often quiet music in the background. There's going to be a little incense going, and you walk in to see the patient, and it's good morning, doctor. How are you? And they're in this mellow state, and that doesn't happen to everybody, but it happens frequently. And the very fact that the brain moves in that direction, I'm not surprised in the early days you get the vivid dreams and the emotional responses. Everything in the body, as we talked about, is changing. Your blood chemistry, your urine chemistry, saliva chemistry. Well, surely your neurochemistry is different. And it'd be fascinating to follow that along. So this is all part of the fasting process, and people should just observe it, enjoy it, and let the body do whatever processing it needs to do. As long as you're physically stable, we'll just push right through it.
Great. I have a personal question myself.
Sure.
I feel like I have cotton mouth all day long. So I know that that's part of you. We talked about all the stuff that comes up, but is there anything I can do to alleviate the cotton mouth? Because I can't chew gum. Not that I chew gum. I don't chew gum anymore. Or suck on a piece of candy, or a lozenge or anything like that. So
it's an interesting phenomenon that people get surprisingly dry on a water fast. You're drinking a lot of water, but there's a number of reasons why this happens. But that said, it's not a pleasant sensation. What to do? One, it will fade as we progress. It'll become less and less.
Okay.
The best thing to do is to keep rinsing your mouth. I'll take a mouthful of water, just bathe your tissues with it. Either swallow it or spit it out. That's about all I can tell you is just keep your mouth wet.
Okay,
and,
that's
just
what I've
keep
been
going
doing.
back.
I didn't know if
Yep,
there was a
just like
trick.
that.
I think I'll go there and just scrape my tongue a little bit more. This morning,
Fair enough. That
yeah,
might help.
yeah, the tongue thing. I just keep looking at my tongue and going,
Yep.
that wasn't there
Yep.
yesterday.
Look at it, but don't put any great import on it. That, oh my
No.
God, I've got candida in my blood. Don't do that. That's
Yeah,
not
and I
good.
probably do, but
Right.
I'm
No, you don't.
slowly killing the overgrowth. I'm thinking that this is what's happening right now because I'm not eating any sugar. I'm not having any processed foods. And like I said at the beginning of the fast, that because I am going through, and perhaps maybe because I knew I was going through the fast and I was preparing myself, I thought I had to gain weight. I was just like eating whatever I wanted to eat, keeping it, like a 90% I eat well, but that 10%, I wasn't making the best choices that I normally make within that. Because, when people say, oh, I didn't eat well, they're not even close to what I'm not even close to that. But some, like in the last, I don't know, month or so, I was like craving fried plantains. And I don't ever eat fried foods. But I was craving it. I think,
Hmm.
yeah, my
Yes, cravings
mitochondria.
is a whole, yeah, the cravings is a whole other world there. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
and
fun, yeah.
yeah,
But,
and it's been a lot of mental
hmm
stamina. And I remember my daughter
hmm
was a pole vaulter, and I used to always tell her, this is even before I started doing this personal growth and all that. I would tell her, you win a game, you jump, because she's a pole vaulter. I said, you jump that in here first, and that's where you win it. That's where you win it. And she would say, I don't know if I can
absolutely.
make it. Well, I don't know. If you say you can't make it, then you're not. So what I loved about our conversation today was that, they were like ready to walk away. Maybe not, but I could tell that they were struggling. But by the end of us working together and talking it through, they were like, we're committing to day 3. Yay. So I'm excited. I'm committing to day 3. And not only that, I have to show you, this is a show and tell portion of it. I don't know if I can
Okay.
lift it up because I'm a little weak, but
Very good.
this is my Sunday
Whoa!
morning.
Hey!
I'm already manifesting day 5.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. You're swimming towards that day when you're able to get there. Good for
This
you.
little
That's
baby
one.
is going to get eaten
Fair enough.
on the fast when I break my fast.
Yay. So let me ask you 3 questions that
Okay.
we ask everybody on the mornings of their fast. And the 3 things, again, for your viewers, I'm interested, any nausea to the point where you're concerned about vomiting?
No.
No? Good. And any bad headache, any severe headache, indicating
Last
low blood
night,
sugar?
my eyes
Oh,
hurt.
yeah. Screen froze
And
up there.
oh,
Um,
can you hear me? Hold on, hold on.
Now I can. Yeah,
Okay.
it just froze up there for a second. Okay.
So last night I had like my temples hurt and my eyes
Right.
hurt, like my eye socket and my temples hurt. But it was at the end of the day, and I think I stayed up a little bit later, and I just went to bed, and I drank water, and the more water I drank, the better I felt. And so I felt that that's
Froze
probably,
up there again. Maybe I'm frozen too.
no, it's probably
So,
me. Continue. So were you able,
uh,
did you hear what I said? The
no, as far as the headache, you had a little behind your eyes there at the end of
Yeah,
the day.
yeah,
Yeah.
the sockets and
Right.
my temple area. But
Right.
all I did was get in bed, drink some water, and I was good. The
Yes.
next morning, I woke up at 2 o'clock. Like, yeah, I woke up
Right.
at 2, maybe 2:45, and I was so awake that I thought, surely it's 6 o'clock. And when I looked at the time, I went, oh man, what am I doing up? And I think it was because, and I was thinking that it was because I hadn't taken my thyroid medication, and perhaps my system was out of whack. So this morning I made sure I took
Uh-huh.
half a dose like you had suggested.
Okay, good. And are you getting real lightheaded when you stand up?
No, not at all.
Okay, all right. So those three questions tell me that nothing bad's going on in your body. Everything is cruising along as it should. And for this quiet state that you're in, you're not going out for any workouts at the gym. For this nice quiet state you're in, you are doing just beautifully.
Thank you.
And I'm curious, do you want to check your pulse and just see what you are today here?
I just lifted up a watermelon. It's pretty heavy.
Okay.
Hold on, let me check.
All right, that's
last night I was trying to check my pulse, and then I kept losing it. We tried it like 5 different times, but it turned out that my... Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
It turned out that my pulse last night was 68.
Good, beautiful number. That's a beautiful number.
Okay,
absolutely.
So you tell me.
Okay, all right, at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go. Stop.
18.
18?
18.
Okay, it's 18. That's 72 beats a minute. Lovely number. Yeah, it's just beautiful.
Okay.
So you look great. All your numbers are good. All the answers are right. I'm very happy the way day 3 is unfolding for you here. And it's already midway through your day. So, yay. Engine room, full fast ahead. Aye, sir. And continue on here. You're doing
I'm fasting on, and to the point where I'm already, although I'm going to give it to myself a day at a time, and that's my commitment, I'm already saying, I can do this.
You can do this. Yes, that's the point you want to be at on this day. Yeah, it's not that hard. And especially if you're not terribly hungry, you got energy, you're not really into stress. Fast on. It's the great undiscussed secret among fasters that, it's not that hard to do.
Yeah.
So good for you. I'm so proud of you. So impressed.
Thank you. I'm so grateful for you. I have to tell you a real quick story. Alejandra, I found out yesterday that she was traveling up north for this workshop that she's going to be a part of. And, this morning she wasn't going to be she wasn't even thinking that she would be a part of the morning, because she was thinking last night, well, maybe I should do fasting. I don't know if I should do it. I said, well, are you hungry? And she said, no. I said, well, if you do a juice cleanse now, you still have to get things. Water is a lot easier to carry with you if you're going to do this. And so she came on to the morning support group that we have, and she had to go early because she had to catch this flight and pack and do everything she needed to do. And so she sent me a text and she said, wow, it's amazing how much you can do when you don't have to eat.
Yeah. Oh, that's something else, by the way, that people report. It dawns on people how much time we spend with our food scene, the shopping and the preparing and the putting it away and the cutting and the cooking and the eating and then the washing the dishes. Well, on a fast, all that time is freed up, and it's amazing how much you can get done. That's a commonly reported insight that people have.
Yes, it's been great, Dr. Klaper, and I'm glad. I was apprehensive when I first started thinking about this. I wanted to do it, but then as we got closer and closer, I'm thinking, can I do it? And then as we got to the day before, I don't know if I can do this. So, but after day 1, and day 2, and day 3, I'm thinking, heck, I can do it.
Yes,
I can do this.
Great.
Yes.
Wonderful. So let me just let's just get clear on the parameters. This is day 3 on water. Tomorrow, day 4 on water, and you're going to day 5. That will also be on water, or are you breaking it on day 5?
No.
Are you doing 5 full days on water?
No. So on Saturday would be day 5, right?
Yes, right.
So Sunday is my break.
Sunday is watermelon day. Okay,
yes. Great.
All right. It'll be fun to see you take your first bite of watermelon on Sunday. I want to be there for that. You get them all cubed up and ready to go, and you should do it during our broadcast.
Sunday. Yeah, and I'm also going to make some broth, because you said, so I'm going to get
some broth first.
Going to get some veggies, put it in a
Yep.
big pot, let it boil. And,
Yep. Start with a glass of broth first.
yes.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be
Okay.
homemade, because you look at
Yep.
all the sodium, even the low sodium is high sodium, as far as I'm
Mm-hmm.
concerned, according to
Mm-hmm.
what you shared with me, with the
Mm-hmm.
sodium content being calories versus milligrams of sodium, that it has to be
Right.
less than the calories. And so I've been vigilant
Yeah.
over.
Good for you. That's a good thing to do.
Oh, thank you for
And
you.
doing homemade is the best solution, no doubt. And you just sip a couple of glasses of that before you get to your watermelon.
I'm
Great.
already savoring it.
All right.
Even
I'll
though I'm
bet.
not hungry, you know how
Yeah.
much habit food is.
Uh-huh. Yes. Isn't it remarkable?
It is.
Well, what
And
an insight. That's
now I'm
important.
thinking I can do intermittent fasting, which I didn't know if I
Yes.
could do it.
Yes. We joke with the folks at True North, especially the ones who do these long fasts. They're going to do a 21-day fast. You haven't eaten in 21 days. Listen, you're never going to get upset about missing lunch again. I mean, you've gone 3 weeks without eating. Missing lunch is not going to be a terrible tragedy. So, it gives you all sorts of superpowers with your discipline, having
Yeah.
done this.
And Dr.
Absolutely.
Klaper, I'll go 2 hours and I'll go into the kitchen. I'll go, I'm so hungry.
So
2
hungry.
hours. And,
Yes. And you
my
see what
sister,
that really
my sister said, you're doing a 5-day fast? You can't make it 2 hours.
Right. In Hermann Hesse's book, Siddhartha, Siddhartha is sitting out on the outside the garden of the courtesan named Kamala, and she comes by and says, "Well, you're not a rich man. What kind of powers do you have?" And Siddhartha says, "I can do 3 things. I can think, I can wait, and I can fast." And when you think about it, those are 3 important powers to have. If you, I can think, I can wait, because everything comes around. The older I get, the more things come around. We wait long enough, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Also, I can fast. I'm not a slave to my senses here. I can do without food today. And I think Ramana Maharshi said, I didn't eat, so they said I was fasting. And I just I don't need to eat right now. And you're saying that to yourself on a continuum. I don't need to eat right now. It's okay. And your body covers you for that. It's a wonderful spiritual and personal empowerment journey you're on. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Great.
Oh, and I weighed myself this morning. I was at 113 and a half.
Yep.
But I know I know.
It'll come right back.
Yeah, I know it'll come back. I'm not worried.
That is not at all. Nope.
I feel great. I feel great.
That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing.
Okay, Dr. Klaper.
Okay, doing great.
Yes.
I'm proud of you. Fast on, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time.
Thank you. Bye.